Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Morning Podcast. So, let's first begin with the closing of Indian markets yesterday. So, Indian market witnessed consolidation in yesterday's trade and kept swinging between positive and negative territories throughout the session. At close, the benchmark indices Sensex and Nifty were down by 0.3% and 0.2% respectively. Broader markets underperformed the benchmarks as Nifty Midcap and Small Cap 100 indices were down by 0.9% each. Talking about the top gainers and losers of NSE, then some of the top gainers were Divi Slab, Grasim, Asian Paints, Dr. Reddy's, Britannia, Wipro, HUL, Hindalco. And some of the top losers of NSE were Adani Ports, Power Grid, BPCL, Coal India, NTPC, Tata Motors, IndusInd Bank, etc. Moving on to the sectoral performance on BSE, then all the major sectoral indices saw a decline in yesterday's trade, except for the BSE Healthcare Index, which was up by 0.3%. BSE Reality Index saw the largest declines of about 2.2%, followed by BSE Services, which was down by 1.4%, BSE Energy, which was down by 1%. BSE Metal and BSE IT Index were down by 0.6% and 0.5% respectively. The overall market breadth also continued to remain slightly on the weaker side as about 1,236 stocks advanced on BSE and against them 2,594 stocks declined. Also on BSE, about 89 stocks scaled 52-week highs, which included names like Ashok Leyland, Coromandel International, Hero Motocorp, Thermax, Marico, Glenmark Life Sciences, and about 35 stocks made 52-week lows, including names like BLS E-Services, Kaya Limited, KRBL, Mitsu Chemplast, Rajratan Global Wire, and many other small cap names. On the fund flow side, both FIIs and DIIs were the net buyers in yesterday's cash market. So FIIs net bought rupees 66 crores and DIIs net bought 3,232 crores of shares in cash market yesterday. If we take a look into the global market cues, then US market closed mixed overnight as Dow fell 0.6%, S&P 500 was flat, and Nasdaq gained 0.6%, crossing 17,000 mark for the first time ever. Rise of up to 7% in Nvidia stock price triggered buying in other chip-making stocks as well in US. Asian markets are mostly trading on a lower side at present, so with mixed global cues, Indian market is likely to see a weaker opening today. Now, talking about the earnings of some of the companies which they have declared in yesterday. So, first one is NBCC India. The company has reported a very good set of numbers. Revenue of the company has gone up 43.1% year on year at rupees 4,025 crores. EBITDA has stood at 243 crores against 104 crores in the corresponding quarter of last year. Net profit is up by 24.5% year on year at rupees 141 crores. The EBITDA margin has increased to 6% from 3.7% in Q4 of FY23. So overall, the numbers are above expectations. So the initial reaction on the stock price of NBCC India is likely to be positive. The another company is Brigade Enterprises. This company has also reported a good set of numbers. Revenue has gone up 102% year on year. EBITDA and net profit are up by 114% and 234% year on year respectively. Margin has seen an increase of about 144 basis points on a year on year basis at 25.4%. So overall, the company has reported above expected numbers. The board has also recommended final dividend of rupees 2 per share. So positive numbers from Brigade Enterprises. Then MedPlus Health Services Q4 revenue has gone up 19% year on year at rupees 1,490 crores. EBITDA has gone up by close to 30% year on year at rupees 106 crores. Margins have also improved to 7.1% from 6.5% in Q4 of FY23. Net profit has grown 26.4% at rupees 34 crores. So MedPlus Health Services has also reported above than expected numbers, so positive in short term. IRCTC's Q4 revenue has grown 19.7% year on year at rupees 1,155 crores. EBITDA is up by 11.7% at rupees 362 crores, while net profit is marginally up by 1.9% at rupees 284 crores. The EBITDA margin has slightly contracted at 31.4% from 33.6% in the corresponding quarter of last year. So overall, somewhat the company has reported muted set of numbers. Few of the parameters are not on the expected lines. So the initial reaction on IRCTC can be on the neutral side. Next one is Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail. The revenues of the company have increased 18.3% year on year at rupees 3,407 crores. The EBITDA has gone up 47% year on year at rupees 284 crores. The EBITDA margin has also increased to 8.3% from 6.7% in Q4 of FY23. However, on a net basis, the company has reported a net loss of 266 crores against a net loss of 195 crores in the corresponding quarter of last year. But overall, the numbers seems to be on the expected line. So the numbers are the results will lead to a neutral reaction on Aditya Birla Fashion. Another company is GM Gujarat Narmada Valley Fertilizers and Chemicals. The Q4 revenue of the company has declined 7% year on year. EBITDA and net profit are also down by 61% year on year each. EBITDA margin has contracted around 937 basis points on a year-on-year basis at 6.9%. So overall weak set of numbers from Gujarat Narmada Valley Fertilizers and Chemicals. Now a lot of companies will declare their quarterly numbers in today's session. So some of the important earnings out of them are Tata Steel, Alchem Laboratories, Deepak Fertilizers, Ipca Laboratories, Shriram Properties, MTNL, that is Mahanagar Telephone Nigam, Mazgaon Dock Shipbuilders, NoSil, Bata India, Cummins India, Dredging Corporation of India, Garware High Tech Films, Global Spirits, and many mid and small cap companies will announce their March quarter numbers in today's session. Now moving on to the stocks which are in focus because of the news related developments in them. So first one is M&M Financial Services. The company has approved the issuance of bonds on a private placement basis up to rupees 2,000 crores with green shoe options of up to 500 crore rupees. So neutral to positive for M&M Financial Services. Adani Total Gas can see some positive reaction today as the rating agency ICRA has upgraded the long-term rating to AA with a stable outlook and has also reaffirmed the short-term rating at A1+. So neutral to positive for Adani Total Gas in short term. Oil India has signed MOU with HPCL to collaborate on conventional and alternative energy portfolios. So positive for both the companies in medium term. Wipro will transform and modernize the IT operations of Close Brothers. So it will be neutral to marginally positive for Wipro in medium term. SpiceJet can see some relief in today's session as the Delhi High Court has granted some time to the company to return to aircraft and engines along with technical records by 17th of June. Grasim Industries may also see some positive reaction as the Birla Group holdings have increased their stake to 23.2% from 19.1% earlier. Havells India has incorporated a JV between Havells International Inc. and Crude LED LLC to market and sell lighting products and solutions which are owned by Havells India Limited with the United States of America. So positive development for Havells India in medium to long term. TCPL Packaging will set up a greenfield facility in Chennai for manufacturing folding cartons, aiming at enhancing the company's pan-India presence and improving its capability to serve both new and existing customers. So positive for TCPL Packaging in medium to long term. Also, PNC Infratech has received a bonus worth rupees 56.4 crores for early completion of the EPC project. So positive for PNC Infratech in short term. Now moving on to the bulk and block deals. So in case of Timken India, there is a block deal which has happened. So Timken Singapore Pte Limited has sold 50 lakh shares, which is around 6.64% of the stake. And against that, government of Singapore has bought 28.49 lakh shares, which is 3.78% of the stake. Nippon India Mutual Fund has bought 4.21 lakh shares, which is 0.55%. Monetary Authority of Singapore has bought 3.51 lakh shares, which is 0.46%, and there were several other buyers as well among these names which I just discussed, and the transaction price was 3,913.4 rupees per share. Also in case of Inox Wind, also there is a bulk deal which has happened. So Inox Wind Energy Limited has sold 5.5 crore shares, which is 16.87% of the stake at rupees 150.58 per share. Against that, Morgan Stanley Asia Singapore Pte Limited has bought 2.54%. Oco World Oco Vision Classic has bought 1.07% of the stake. Goldman Sachs has bought 0.79%, and BNP Paribas Arbitrage has bought 0.5% of the stake, among some other buyers as well. In case of Aarti Drugs, Blend Fund 2 has bought 5.11 lakh shares, which is 0.55% of the stake, at rupees 484.9 per share, while Mirek Rajendra Gogri has sold 4.68 lakh shares, that is about 0.5% of the stake, at rupees 485.5 per share. In case of Concord Biotech, Ontario Inc. has sold 35.48 lakh shares, which is 3.4% of the stake, at rupees 1,361.3 per share, while Norges Bank, on account of the Government Pension Fund Global, has bought 6 lakh shares, which is 0.57% of the stake, at rupees 1,386.95 per share. Also, in case of Hatsun Agro Product, promoter RG Chandramogan has created a pledge for 63.72 lakh shares on 27th of May. Then on the corporate action front, the price band for Bharat Dynamics has changed from 20% to 10%. Also, companies like Honeywell Automation India and Ram Ratna Wires have moved out of the short-term ESM framework. So these are the key market data points to go through before beginning the today's trading session. This was all about the daily morning podcast. Thank you everyone for listening.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.